You've heard the word metaverse, right? And you probably think you know the story. But what if I told you we're only seeing the very, very top of it? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden multi-trillion-dollar economy being built right under our noses.
And let's be honest, when the metaverse hits the news, this is what you see. Pixelated plots of land selling for millions, flashy digital art, and everyone's talking about their custom avatar. It all feels a bit like a video game for speculators.
But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real action, the stuff that's actually building an economy that some like Citi are saying could hit $13 trillion. Well, that's all happening in layers most of us never even think about. We're going to explore that hidden 90% that's submerged just below the surface. All right, so let's dive deep. We're starting at the very bottom, layer 1. This is the bedrock of this whole new world. And spoiler alert, this is where the real value is being created, far, far away from that virtual land rush. So that number you see, $40 billion, that's not for some pixelated real estate. No, that's the cash that Verizon and AT&T have already dropped on 5G spectrum. And they're doing it specifically to handle the insane traffic the metaverse is going to create. They're basically building the digital highways before the cities are even finished. So why are they spending all that money? Well, here's why. To get those smooth, instant experiences that the metaverse promises, zero lag, crystal clear 8K streaming, we need a 100-fold increase in our current computing power at the edge. I mean, this is a massive, massive infrastructure project. Okay, $9 billion. You might think that's the valuation for some hot new game, right? Wrong. That's the valuation of a company called WorldCoin. And their whole deal is one thing: proving that you are a unique, real human being. You see, in a world that's going to be flooded with bots and AI, a verified digital ID you can carry anywhere, well, that becomes incredibly valuable. Okay, so here's the big takeaway for this first layer, and it's super important. We have to completely redefine what we think of as real estate. It's not about owning a picture of a map. The real estate is the plumbing, it's the compute power, the bandwidth, and the identity systems that this entire digital world is going to run on. All right, so we've laid the foundation. Now let's move up the iceberg a bit, to the engine room. Once you have the infrastructure, you need an engine to make it all run. And in this new world, that engine is a totally new way of thinking about how money and attention work.
This sounds super complicated, I know, but check out this example. It's brilliant. Imagine Disney, right? They take Star Wars, this massive IP, and they basically slice it up into thousands of little pieces they call galaxy bonds. Each bond is a tiny slice of ownership that actually pays you a dividend from movie tickets, merch, you name it. Suddenly, intellectual property isn't just a legal concept, it's a liquid, money-making asset. You know your FICO score, right? That number that basically defines your financial life? Well, the metaverse is building an equivalent for your entire digital life. Think of it like a permanent digital passport, a soul-bound token that collects all your achievements, who you know, what you've done. It's a reputation that you truly own, and you can take it with you anywhere. This right here tells you everything you need to know about the new creator economy. Look at this. A single virtual concert brings in $180 million in ticket sales. Impressive, right? But now look at the secondary market. A staggering $240 million from fans just reselling virtual t-shirts and special emotes. The economy that happens after the event is actually bigger than the event itself. Now this is a game changer. With all the gaze tracking tech and VR and AR headsets, advertisers will know exactly what you're looking at and for how long. Think about that for a second. This makes programmable attention a reality, where ads only get paid for when someone actually sees them. Your attention, your literal gaze, becomes a direct, monetizable asset. Okay, so with any new economy this huge, there's gonna be chaos. It's like the Wild West all over again. This next layer is all about the new rules being written as we go, and the very, very real dangers that come along with that. It's a classic story, right? Money goes where it's treated best. And we're already seeing this happen. You've got places like Estonia creating legal structures for DAOs, these new internet-native companies. At the same time, Singapore is rolling out the red carpet with special payment licenses for metaverse businesses. Countries are literally competing to become the new legal and tax hubs for this economy.
But let's not get carried away. This isn't a sure thing. There are huge black swan risks here. I'm talking about the massive energy consumption from all these data centers potentially sparking a crisis. Or what if the big tech giants, Apple, Meta, Google, decide to build walled gardens and refuse to connect with each other? The whole vision just shatters. And, of course, a major government could just flip a switch on regulation and freeze trillions of dollars in assets overnight. Okay, so we've gone deep into the invisible layers. Let's surface for a second and bring this all together. How does this crazy digital economy actually connect back to the real world? Jobs, GDP, the stuff we track every day. So you can't really measure these new platforms with old school metrics like daily active users. It just doesn't work. So analysts are coming up with new tools, like something called economic bandwidth per user, or EBU. Basically, it measures how good a platform is at turning its users' time into real economic value. And you can see right here, a platform like Roblox is way, way more efficient at this right now than Meta's Horizon Worlds.
And if you're still thinking this is some far-off future thing, here is the punchline. The U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, a serious government agency, estimates the digital economy, the metaverse, already makes up 0.9% of U.S. GDP. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but to put it in perspective, that's a bigger slice of the pie than the entire U.S. railroad industry. It's not coming. It's already here.
And this really brings it all home. There's this quote that says, "The next Berkshire Hathaway will not be a textile mill. It will be a protocol that nobody can see, but everybody pays." That just perfectly captures the shift we're talking about. The next great empires won't be built on things you can touch, but on the invisible digital plumbing, the protocols and systems that are going to quietly run everything. So at the end of the day, this isn't science fiction anymore. It is a fundamental economic shift that is happening right now. So the real question we should all be asking ourselves isn't if this new economy is real, it's who is building its invisible foundations. Because they're the ones building the world we're all about to live in.